Hello and welcome to the final round of ERL Racing today. On the final day of F1 22, the first time championship winner will be decided, whether it being JT Gelato or Oscar, otherwise known as Berguders, in the Alfa Romeo. And what a better place to settle this matchup than in the sand dunes of Netherlands. We are travelling to Zandvoort for our seventh and final round of championship racing. For JT Gelato to become the first ever championship winner here in ERL, he must finish in 8th place or above to guarantee his place in the standings. And on the other side, it is long shot Oscar, who must win the race to give himself a shot at glory, with JT finishing 9th or lower. But let's talk about the track, which is actually a common ground for a lot of the drivers here in ERL. I know that Mufasa, Man's Not Bob, Zonnevo, all these drivers, and probably many more that I haven't realised, all are from the Netherlands. It has 14 corners, 10 to the left and 4 to the right, 2 DRS zones, including a long bank straight which gives plenty of overtaking opportunities. But we have 36 laps to settle the Drivers' Championship. But before that, we're going to enter a live qualifying session. And before that, let's just go through the Drivers' and Constructors' standings. Can you please do that F1-ology?
Yep, so JT is in first place with 119 points, 23 ahead of his nearest rival, Oscar, who's in the Alfa Romeo, with 96 points. But there's an interesting battle further down the field currently, with Mans Bob currently sat in third, only I think it's 6 points ahead of his rival. 8 points ahead of his rival, Lolzen, who's in the Ferrari. And yeah, so pretty close down the field. Also, you've got Ramen currently fifth. Nice job in sixth currently, and them two are pretty close. Also, just behind them, you've got COTS SOS, I think it is. Currently only a point behind them. Iron Kid in 8th in the McLaren, who's in 8th, and then Hashi 9th, and Subwoffler in 10th. That's the top 10. And then in the constructors, Mercedes have a healthy lead to hang on to, with Ferrari in, and then McLaren, Alfa Romeo in third, Red Bull in fourth, and AlphaTauri fifth.
Thank you for that very much. Just to clarify, it is 3 points for Mercedes to win the championship, so that is effectively done. But the first lap of the day does come in from VDV Alfie with a 1:11.7, which I think is quite a good lap. Let's have a look. Who is the next crossman? Looks like a Ferrari of Robbo. He's on an outlap. Looks like a Red Bull of Man's Not Bob, who's just going to come into the pit lane as he's invalidated his lap. It looks like another AlphaTauri coming out. Looks pretty nice job. He's on a medium set of tyres, just trying to rub in the track as much as he can. Next flying laps comes in from RLR Perez, a 1:11.8, and Gerard Morgan, a 1:12.9, and Piano Jam, a 1:13.
Yeah, first qualifying lap, pretty good from the Alfa Romeo driver to get into the 1:11 straight away.
Yeah,
that's
Robbo
from
has
him.
just gone purple in our first sector. Looks like a 25.6 for the Ferrari, so we're actually going to jump on board with him for the rest of the flying lap. Looks like he's actually running that medium traction, which isn't actually that much beneficial than the full on Zandvoort. Get a lot of traction around here. Second sector does not look purple to me. A 50.8 through the second, struggles to get traction out of the penultimate corner, drops it down to 5th gear. Now it's the long banked right-hander for Robbo. Let's see if he's going to come across the line in the 1:11s or the 1:12s. What's it going to be? It's going to be P4 for Robbo, a 1:12.3. There is a new provisional pole time in Oscar. He is making his mark known. But JT Gelato is also on his flying lap. Nice job putting it into P2 as well.
Both Oscar and JT need to get in early bankers, and JT goes to the top with a 1:10.8. That's a very good lap from him.
And
closely matched.
Patrick has just went into P2 also.
Yep, indeed. That was a good lap from him, 1:10.9.5. Still about a tenth clear. A lot closer than China this is so far, which is good to see. Hopefully a lot more competitive.
Charlie Harris has put his car up into 4th place on the medium set of tyres. The Spin King should not be spinning anywhere in Zandvoort.
Nope. But Zandvoort is a very easy track to spin. Lots of corners and a lot of corners with steep curbs, and obviously don't want to touch one of those around here because you'll be going either into a barrier, into the gravel, or across the grass. So it's not a great track for forgiveness anyway, which is quite nice if you ask me, because I do like tracks like this where there ain't too much forgiveness in them.
Absolutely. If probably Carlos Sainz's worst nightmare has a lot of gravel. Let's have a look.
Indeed it would
Manzapop
be.
is just coming up to the end of his first sector. Let's see what's it going to be for the Red Bull. It's going to be a 24.957. He is purple in sector 1. I think it's the first car I've seen drop into the 24s of this qualifying session. Obviously, a long way to go yet. The track will get quicker. However, Manzapop is showing some pretty solid pace through the first sector. Just one more turn to go through the second sector until he can get the rear wing open.
Yeah, on a good lap here so far, pretty decent. Down into the 3rd gear. Looking good so far. Decent exit. Not really sure what traction control he's running. Probably either the
Full.
medium or the no traction.
Nah, he's on full.
But anyway. Oh, he's on full. Well, there
he's
we
quick
go.
for full. That's
Through the final
P5.
line. P5. Decent. That's a decent first lap. If you can get probably mid 11s, that's a decent first lap for majority of the drivers in the qualifying. Because 1:10.8, pretty top level stuff that is. Probably the pole time going to be a 1:10.5 or 1:10.2, maybe around there.
I think for me, the guy to look out is on a nice job right now. His first time was a 1:11.6 on the medium compound, so he could definitely get a lot more out of his lap. And I know nice job pretty well. He has got some unreal one-shot lap pace. Over the race,
Indeed,
it's to be desired, but
no, nice job is a very good driver. I've driven with him a few times, raced against him, and very, very quick. Nice job is, yeah.
And that was P7 for AKA Mufasa. Is there anyone else on a lap? Don't believe so.
Mufasa, obviously, coming into this race, did a very good practice session. He did, only about a tenth behind myself, so he does have decent pace here, overall, by the looks of it. Plus, I'm sure he'll be wanting to get decent points in tonight's race and tonight's championship.
Absolutely. Well, while we do have the opportunity where there aren't any drivers doing the outlaps, I will just quickly run through the aspirations for tonight. So the first one comes in from Charlie Harris, who hopefully wants to finish the race. That is optimistic from the Haas driver, currently in 4th place. A lot of rapid drivers here, so not expecting anything special. A humble approach from Charlie Harris is only 4/10 away from pole position, so definitely doing a good job. Also, next one comes in from Zonneveld, who is just hoping to get some points, and for a Dutch guy to win. Would be a very, very big party spoiler for a non-Dutch driver to win.
Well, obviously Max Verstappen in real life has dominated the Dutch Grand Prix for the last 2 seasons, so that would be a very big upset if a non-Dutch driver didn't win.
Absolutely. Then the last two come in from Man's Not Bob. Hopefully, hope for a top 5 finish here, and also wishes us luck, by the way. So thank you, Man's Not Bob. And then the last one comes in from Mufasa. Wants to be high in the points, preferably be higher than Dirk, who I don't think is. Oh, he is here in 16th place. Can't wait to finish below him in the standings, is the word from Mufasa. But he's in 8th place. He's not doing a terrible job. He has given himself a real opportunity here. I was going board with Oscar. He is the next real contender of pole position. I thought Takak's also on a good lap. But let's have a look at Oscar through the first sector. It is a 24.893. He is 600ths of a second improving, which is just not enough to catch up to JT Galato. I think Nice Job also on his lap if you want to follow him.
Nice Job, yeah?
Yeah, I believe Nice Job is on a lap.
Yeah, just now got him. Well, coming round the long left-hander, opens up the DRS, 5th gear, up into 6th, 7th, then brakes pretty late, runs right over that curb, has that ruined his lap, I think so, and yeah,
he was 5 tenths up on that lap. Oscar has improved by about 2 tenths on this lap, never mind, just a tenth, keeps it in P3. No real gains onto JT Galato, who is going faster in the first sector. He is 600ths of a second up on his previous time. And he's going to get a lovely little slipstream from, I believe, Charlie Harris. Oh, no, it's not Charlie Harris. Oh, it was Charlie Harris,
2
sorry.
tenths up in the middle sector as well.
He is flying.
Indeed he is.
This
might
arrow,
be the pole lap.
This definitely could be, with 6 minutes left on the session. Oh, it looks a bit squirrely around the 14th turn, but across the line it will be an improvement by 2.1 tenths, so 10.6 for the championship leader, and Oscar is left wondering where he can find 6 tenths of a gap on his lap.
Well, that was impressive, and there's still probably a little bit more time in that lap time as well, so, you know, easily could do maybe a 1:10.5, maybe even a 10:4 there from JT. Oscar's, yeah, definitely got to find a lot more time if he wants to contend with pole. But then again, this is a circuit where you can find a lot of time. You know, there's a lot of medium speed corners and slow speed corners, and as Brundle says, you spend a lot of the time in the slow speed corners, so that's where the time can be found. But Oscar's into the pits now for probably a new set of softs, and probably will go again.
I did just watch Mans Not Bob put his car into 3rd position. The Red Bull going pretty nicely. Never going to find it, according to Oscar. That is pretty unconvincing, but maybe he can hope for something during the race to go his way. But I think it will just be everyone in the pits for one last flying run. I don't see anyone on a final lap. Zonnevoud with 0% battery. That is it for the last 2 or so minutes. Then it would be a straight shootout for pole position right now. JT Galato in pretty safe hands up the top. However, Mans Not Bob, oh no, sorry, Nice Job with the fresh soft tyres could come in as a bit of a wild card. Definitely has 6 tenths in his lap, as his only lap has been a medium lap. So I definitely think he is one to look out for.
Yeah, and got a few cars on at out laps, but no one's really on a fast lap from what I can tell. Pretty much everyone's on the out lap for the final lap then, looks here. But there's also more cars in the pits, to be fair, than there is currently.
There is a weird tyre choice from Phantom Joker, who's on the hard tyre. So I'm not really sure what he is thinking.
You sure? Oh yes.
Yeah.
On my screen showing he's on the softs, but
he's on the hard.
That's on the, because I'm looking at the tyre, what you call it, the tyre thing. Doesn't show the, what you call it, the current tyre, if that makes sense. But yeah, now it's on. It's now refreshed. Yep, showing he's on the hards.
I was about to say Charlie Harris about to do his lap, but he is going to the strategic 2-lap outlap just to burn as much fuel as possible, which is not the worst idea. It works a lot in Brazil, I find.
No.
A lot of 3 tenths almost in Brazil, so it could be the way to go.
Yeah, it obviously would be beneficial if you can master it, but you've got to be careful how much you take out the tyres, of course,
Yes, absolutely.
during those 2 out laps.
It's very heavy curves here, so make
Yeah,
sure to stay
exactly.
off them.
Really got to avoid the curbs here. Otherwise, yeah, you're definitely gonna be in the wall at some point.
JT Galato doing his
So,
best to try and scout the driver's way here, and he's got one more coming. Ooh.
well, it's very tight track as well. That makes it difficult for drivers on out laps to stay out of the way of the cars, coming behind, especially in the twisty part of the lap.
Well, before we go on board with the likes of JT, Bob, and nice job on Oscar, we're just going to follow Charlie Harris for probably his last flying lap of the session. Should probably get round in time just before JT gets there. Through our first sector, he is swinging the car in like it's nobody's business. That was an incredible first few corners, and he's lost it. The Spin King has lost it again. But I think this is about time we go on with JT Galato for the lap. His final lap of ERL this season. He has to pull out something special to make sure he can secure this position. Manza Bob is also about to go on his flying lap. We're going to stay on board with JT Galato through this first set of corners. He is throwing everything into this lap, keeps it in fourth gear, traction up the hill. He's going to come up to our first sector line any second now. What's it going to be? Is it going to be an improvement for the Mercedes? No, he is essentially flat even through the first sector. Let's see if there's any more improved time. Maybe in the third sector is where I can see any sort of time being improved. Did look a bit over, squirrely across the final corner. Looks to be a spin of the Williams there. Not sure who that was. But JT Galato now has his rear wing open, coming down into turn 10. Swings it in. He is improving by 1,000th of a second. He is essentially matching his time all the way down. He's lost traction. That is probably JT Galato's lap over and done with.
Well, only his then rival Oscar to come, and Oscar's improved in the first sector by just a tenth, so would put him currently P3 potentially if he improves then on this final run in qualifying. Obviously, these are the two championship leaders and protagonists going at it. Then what can he do in the middle sector? And he's down by 6/10. So, yeah, I think that is probably then qualifying over, and indeed
that is
he
it.
agrees.
JT Galato's got pole position.
Indeed he does, unless
nice
someone
job.
can surprise.
Nah, no one. Perez puts his car into fourth place. Nice, or Oscar in fifth. Nice job. Didn't have enough time to set his final flying lap. That would be disappointing for the AlphaTauri. Zonneveld is 500th of a second improve or down on his original time. He is just a tenth away from the Ferrari and Robbo. He's looking to get some points. Zonneveld second. He's 800ths of a second down on his time now. He is improving, but it may not be enough. He may get a little bit of a slipstream from JR Morgan, though, which could benefit him down this track. No, never mind, he's spun.
So I think that's pretty much qualifying over then for the majority of the drivers.
Zonneveld P10. But I think that is JT Galato picking up pole position.
Yeah, 100%. No one can improve what I see.
They're all pegging into the pit lane. Oscar's job has now gotten a lot harder.
It has got a lot harder for him, of course. Obviously, 25 points practically behind in the championship anyway. I think, obviously, he's got to go into this race, just treat it as another race, really. I wouldn't be treating it as a championship race, if that makes sense.
I think he's got to come
mentally.
into it with nothing to lose. Yes, he's going to have to take risks, and if he doesn't take it, he can't feel sorry for himself because he's in a position where he is chasing this when he's chasing the championship.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I wouldn't go into it too, heavily like focused on the championship either. It's a fine balance between the two.
Well, all that can be heard in the stands in Zandvoort is pure reggae music for JT Galato in pole position. There is no Dutch driver even close to him. In second place it is Kakax in the Williams. Manzabot put his car into P3. Perez in P4. Oscar, the Hunting, is in P5. VDV is in 6th. Charlie in 6th. Or 7th. Nice job in 8th. Robbo in 9th. Zonneveld in 10th. And now we're heading to 36 laps around Zandvoort to settle this championship.
Yep. 36 long laps, obviously. Very easy. Probably going to see a safety car or two.
No, absolutely.
Be interesting to see what tyres everyone starts their race on.
I think the hard tyre was actually better off the start. That's what I normally do when I practice Zandvoort. I normally go hard medium.
Yeah, hard medium could work around here. But then the softs aren't too bad actually around Zandvoort. It's not really a track prolific for tyre wear, if you know what I mean. But nonetheless, I'll decide what they start on. Personally, I'd probably go hards and then onto the mediums. Keeps your strategy window more open, if you know what I mean. Then you can choose if you want to go for a soft run or a medium run at some point. But yeah.
Oh, nice job. Missed out on the line by just 1 second. Absolutely gutting. Easily had 6 tenths in that lap. Easily. And that is the pit stop strategy. It looks just like a one-stop restart due to game glitch. Oh, this game is just comical.
Well, at least it's in the bin after this. That's all I can say.
Ah, that's brilliant, isn't it?
Tyres are good. Everyone was starting on hards and mediums.
Well, I will stay on board with this, but at least we have some cars going around the track.
Oh well. JT Galetto has retired.
Yeah, the classic lobby restart.
Yep. Might as well leave the session ourselves and rejoin. Well, that was an exciting race.
Very exciting.
10 out of 10 that was.
Let's just have some AI racing now. Could be a hell of a grid start.
Yep.
While I wait for my invite to be sent. And I mean, if this does not sum up the state of F1 22, I'm not really sure what does.
Well, hopefully F1 2023 be a lot better, obviously. It's meant to be better from what I've heard, but yeah.
It's just painful at this point. Well, we do give the what's it called? The not the admins, I'd say race directors to just sort out the lobby. We will see the ghosted battle of JT Galato and Takax on this grid start.
Fair enough.
And it is 5 red lights in Zandvoort. And it's lights out and away we go. Takax does get a very good start. Okay, I'm not doing this. JT Galato leads into turn 1. Excuse me, how's a yellow flag?
Most exciting start to a Grand Prix race ever.
Look at all the cars are following each other though. Ah, there we go. And the race has been ended. JT Galato is world champion.
The Red Bull has gone into the Mercedes, and the Red Bull has now evaporated through. Oh, the Red Bull has DNF'd. Interesting. Oh well, hopefully this second lobby won't do the same.
And there we go. JT Galato is the winner of the AI 3-corner race in the Netherlands.
Indeed he is. Champion of the world. Once again for a Mercedes. Could be worse.
Aaron TM Cannon, whoever you are, he said he's going to win that race as well. So I wish him luck with that. Well, as Man's Not Bob and aka Mufasa just get set up with the lobby, we are just going to have to wait very patiently for this absolutely terrible game. Or have I got a theatre we can go into?
Well, at least F1 2023, hopefully it just won't be as buggy as this game and be a little bit more consistent.
There we go.
You know.
Let's kill the time. We have the highlights from my Brazil race from like 2 weeks ago.
How was that one?
P3 for me personally, so it was quite successful.
Yep, not too bad. That's pretty good. What was the weirdest glitch you've come across on this game?
Ooh, that's a very good question. I would say there was one in a partner league here in GRL. It was that all the cars were facing backwards on the grid start. And when they actually went ahead, they all quickly turned around. It was so weird.
Jokes. Probably the weirdest glitch I've encountered is the safety car glitch. Haven't actually had too many glitches, thank God. But yeah, the safety car glitch has to be the weirdest one, where the safety car just stayed out basically for longer than it should have done. And we were going green flag racing, so caused mayhem.
I think another one of the annoying ones was under the safety car restarts. If you ran ABS, you couldn't go like into 4th gear or anything to get traction. Like you were always stuck in 1st or 2nd gear. That done my head in so many times.
Yeah, I've had that one as well. Really annoying, that one. I remember also there was that, I think it was on this game, might have been on F1 2021, the sound glitch.
I never experienced that because I was on PS5. I was on PS5 at that point, so I never had it.
The sound glitch was terrible. You'd get like an echo of your car and other cars. Like, so horrible that was. Like, yeah, that one was a terrible one overall. Have you joined the new lobby?
I've just been sent the invite.
Ah, cool. Sound. Sound.
Well, that was a great Brazil Grand Prix for me. But I think our lobby is now back up and running. Almost there. Almost there. Almost there. There we go. Well, that was nice and quick at least. I think we're already good to go.
Yep, pretty much we are, I think so.
Well, a great job from Mufasa for getting this lobby right back up and running again. So, well done, and a big thank you to him.
And very quickly as well, which was good.
Yes. So we should be able to get going any second now.
Hopefully be a good race, and wish all the drivers good luck.
Apart from Manzot Bob.
No, they'll get good luck.
No, don't worry about
You know, all deserve good luck, hopefully, with today's race. And you know what they say, drivers, start your engines.
it. I got the voice for that.
That's what they say in the American, ain't it? Formulas and all of
NASCAR.
that. Most famous words in motorsport, apparently. I think it sounds good in an American accent. That does drivers
No,
start your
absolutely.
engines. You know, not necessarily in a, you know, French or British or German accent. Anyway. Back to Zandervoort.
Is there another lobby glitch? Because I want a please wait sign. Ah, there we go. 20
Yeah, I
seconds
know
to
that.
race start.
Probably was because no one lobbied, no one readied up or whatever at the time, so all were selecting the setups.
There we go. Well, we'll just go through the non-important bit and looking at everyone's tyres. So, it is going to be the hard tyre for almost everyone apart from the odd few medium runners of Robbo, Standing Cart, Piano, GR Morgan, Dirk, Fuse, and Nice Job, who is now 19th. I think he requested to be 19th, actually. So, and now for the actual important bit, the helmet check. JT Gladys hasn't changed in a while. Attack actually is quite nice. Manzot Bob's is boring. Perez is actually, he's got like the Iron Man stuff. Oscars hasn't changed. VGD not impressed. Charlie Harris, oh, all these drivers got the same. Oh, hello, Tom, go prof out, are you? Ooh, Standing Cart is lovely. Look at that one. Piano Jam with the Fernando Alonso vibes. I love to see that. GR Morgan's is lovely. What helmet of the game goes to GR Morgan? That is a gorgeous little helmet. It doesn't really suit the car too well, but very, very nice.
Yep, I agree. Also like AFK Mufasa.
Yeah, but his is very
helmet.
nice. Well, I think I gave it to him like 2 weeks ago though, so I can't do that.
For me, he's done a really good job with that, but yeah. But interestingly, all the top 7 drivers on the hard tyres, which is quite interesting, all going for the same strategy.
Yeah, I was thinking that Oscar was going to go into the medium, but apparently not.
No, but then probably wise to go for the hards if you're at the front of the grid. Go long. You don't want to necessarily be making up the positions in the opening laps, whereas those behind, it makes sense to take a bit more risk and go on the mediums to try and make up those positions. You didn't do so well in qualifying, few spins at the back of grid.
Well, there is a big opportunity for Oscar now. RLR Perez has disqualified from the grid start, and as Noisjob prepares his car on the final 19th slot on the grid, we should be able to get going in the final race and the 7th round of Championship Racing in ERL. It is 3, 4, 5 red lights, and we go racing in Zandvoort. Takacs has not really got the opportunity and the start he wanted. Oscar is already up into P4, however, he's being pressured by a lot of drivers. JT Galato leads into turn 1. Oscar is safe through the carnage, a lot of spins at the back. That looks like a Red Bull of Mufasa, who is not going to love to see that. Oscar now hunting down Manslot Bob. JT Galato has a 3.5 gap right at the front. Standing Cart sat in 9th place, who's just had a trip onto the grass, is now under pressure from J.R. Morgan. Just coming up into turn 5. He's going to have an inside down. Oh, no, he's not. Had a little wheel on the inside, but because he's taken out his few stings, who's just been either rear-ended or has rear-ended someone.
More carnage at the back of the grid here. We've got Piano Jam off. The Alfa Romeo also off with damage. Mufasa's got also a bit of damage as well to his Red Bull on the front left end plate. So not the cleanest of first laps from all the drivers. A few will be heading into the pits at the end of this lap. Definitely Piano Jam will be heading into the pits as he's got completely no downforce on his car. But
well, under the chaos, it was Noisjob who navigated his way through it. He is up 6 or 7 positions. Robert down the inside into turn 1, does get a position on Charlie Harris. A pretty pathetic defence. He does not have any fight. He saw him coming. He said he does not want to fight this. Gut is a 5-second penalty for speeding into the pit lane. Noisjob still hunting down this 11th place. Is already almost in the points. He can become a real threat later on in this race, especially if he gets his strategy right. He's going to use his slipstream all the way down into turn 5, but not enough room. The door was slammed shut, but J.R. Morgan has not done well there. He's gone very wide. Noisjob into turn 6, gets the position.
Noisjob really on the move here in these opening few laps. Already has gone up basically 9 positions. Incredible start from him. He'll be very happy with that.
I've not seen Noisjob move like this for all season in GRL, but he's doing it now, which is always good to see with the final day of F1 22. And he's right on the back of Standing Cart. He gets so much more traction into turn 13. There's no space. He's going to go for the switchback. He's going to hold the inside tyre around the bank curve, and he's going to get that position. But what is the AlphaTauri's straight line speed compared to with the Ferrari? Just 300ths of a second back. Is this going to be a contest for Noisjob? No, it is not. He's going to ride the curb and he's going to get into 10th place. And that is a championship point for the AlphaTauri. He is seriously hunting. Next on his list is Zonneveld.
Yep, the Haas driver is up next on the hard compounds. He should be hopefully pretty easy work for Noisjob here, who's on the mediums, but there is a bit of a gap in front of him to the McLaren or the Perez then. So yeah, them two are pretty good then.
I think Noisjob's going to have this move done very early.
Yeah, probably on the brakes, maybe down the inside.
Yeah, he's going to get it now. He's going to go for it now. Down the inside, he's going to ride the curb, and he's just gone up into 9th place.
Yep, that was a good move. Very controlled, and gets up into 9th then for himself. And next up is RLR, then, or Piers, basically.
We have got another position change, sorry about that, but Robert has gone down the inside into turn 1. He's fighting for 5th place with VDV Alpha. He's going to hold it around the outside of turn 1. Robert still has the inside wheel, but he is just going to back out of that. Tactics is very, very close to JT Galato. There's just a 2/10 gap. He seems to spread it back out.
Also, I believe Morgan made up the position on the Ferrari, standing them as well, down in 11th, so he gains one back after his poor start. And pretty much no one really else going for a move, but good opening few laps in terms of racing, and the battle's on track so far.
Yep, absolutely. And Nice Job has closed down 9/10 onto RLR Perez right now, and he's going to try and get this move done ever so closely. Both the drivers have got DRS. Nice Job just smashing in purple sectors. Every single lap I'm on board with him, I see a new purple sector. 6/10 the gap. That car is a very quick car in a straight line as well for Nice Job. He's handling the turns well, and he's handling the straight line speed. Tactax got very close to JT Galato there again. Another fastest lap for Nice Job. Just going to drop back to 8/10 and just buy his time now with all these cars ahead. This is free picking for the AlphaTauri if he can just scale like this now. He is so much faster.
Indeed he is. The only thing is, now he's coming up to a quick group of cars. When you look at the fastest laps, they're pretty much all in the 114s. So, you know, he's coming up to cars probably about roughly his pace level now, so it might be a bit more difficult to get the overtakes done, and he's going to have to get a bit more inventive with some of his overtakes if he wants to get through.
Well, we're always going to follow the Alfa Romeo of Oscar, looking to try and pave his way onto the top of the standings. Obviously, it will be a bit of a miracle with JT Galato, but he has to do everything he can to get past all these drivers. And the first guy he's got ahead of him is Mans, not Bob, trying to get the Dutchman off the podium. He's got a 4/10 gap along this pit straight now. Will it be enough for the Alfa Romeo? He's going to close in ever so slightly. That car does not look like it has a lot of straight line speed. It has no straight line speed. Robbo is going to get a bit closer to VDV Alfie as well. All these cars are following in each other. Nice Job is getting closer and closer and closer to RLR Perez. He's just waiting for a mistake to come his way.
Well, these two, Piers and Nice Job, obviously in that train, as I said, so one's getting DRS pretty much off the other. Currently the two leaders, though, breaking away from these group of cars. They've now got a 2-second gap. JT,
that's RLR Perez. Perez has lost it in turn 6. He has dropped it now. Nice Job has cleared another car in front of him.
Indeed, he has dropped it, and looks like he's going to lose another position to the Mercedes as well. Probably got very hot tyres after that spin there. Drive error, of course.
And I think we've got a move for Oscar. He's going to try and go round the outside of Mans on Bob. He's got more downforce than the Red Bull, but it's going to be a bit of a long move for him to make this stick, and he's going to hold it all the way around the outside. Mans on Bob is going to give this up. Oscar is now into 3rd place, but I don't think Mans on Bob is going to take that nicely.
No, but that was a very key move for Oscar, because the two in front have been just edging that gap ever so slightly away from the rest of the pack. So can he go after, maybe chase after the front two leaders? Be interesting to find out what his pace is like in the next couple of laps.
I don't really think he's going to get the opportunity to, because Mans on Bob is only 3/10 behind him, and he's going to get DRS down the second back straight, because his car is a lot quicker in the straight lines. If he can stay close through this 3rd sector, he's going to have another good opportunity down into turn 1.
True, but Oscar has opened up about a 6/10 gap now.
Yeah, he really
Is
has.
6/10 too much to come back for Bob here? I think it will be. But then it's closing. No, not quite. Not quite enough to go for a lunge.
I think for Oscar, realistically, he's just going to have to pray that JT and Takax get a little bit too close to each other. Wicked Vicky is now into 10th place, gets a position onto J.R. Morgan. Nice Job is closing in once again on Charlie Harris. Kakax is keeping that gap at just 3/10, extending his gap on behind to Oscar, which is now just about 3 seconds. Manza Bob chasing down that final position on the podium. Has a little bit of a wobble coming out up to turn 6. Oh, there's a yellow flag, and that's a Hassanich. It's going to be Zonneveld. Ooh, not great from him.
Nope, not great, but at least he hasn't got any damage that I can visibly see. Oh no, he has, sorry, on the front right wing.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, so that might hinder his race pace. Depends if he comes in or not. Bit early, probably for the hard tyres overall to be switching strategy. So,
well, Oscar was very lucky on the lap before because he had that gap going into the pit straight. However, he does not have the gap this time. Manza Bob down the inside into turn 1. Oscar's going to have to fight this. He can't let this race get away from him. Manza Bob is still, now he's ahead. Coming into turn 3. Oscar does hold it there, and he has the inside line. Manza Bob will not be able to fight this any longer. Oscar is going to have to really push now. He cannot be getting slowed up anymore. Gap at 4 seconds up to the leaders.
Well, Oscar is literally faster in the corners, but as you said, slower on the straights. It's pretty much what you see kind of in real life sometimes. Obviously, not really sure which one I'd prefer to have at the moment, being Oscar's shoes or Man's Bob's shoes at the moment, but yeah, Oscar, like, certainly if he can just open up a 1 second gap, that would help him a lot here. He's got that gap up to 8:10. It's not quite a second currently, but not really anyone overtaking anyone, even though Nice Job's quite close to the Haas here. 2/10, so might see a move from Nice Job. Nope, not quite. No one's going for it then. As the two leaders still pull away then in first and second.
Oh, Nice Job's going to go for it! Oh my, it was a ridiculous lunge from Nice Job. But Charlie Harris had the gap open and Nice Job went for it. Beat 7th for AlphaTauri, and that was a spectacular move.
Indeed it was. Very brave from him to get through. Obviously been the big mover in this race. Now that's, 13 positions made up from the start?
Yeah. Oh no, Charlie Harris has crashed and he has no front wing!
Well,
and that is going to be a VS, that's a safety car.
Full course caution. Then
I think Nice Job will put on a fresh set of hards here.
Would you go hards or would you go...
Yeah, I'd go hard. Run to the end. If you're on the medium, I think a one stop onto the hard now is fine. JT Galato is not going to pit, same as Kakax. Both going to live out these hard tyres. Oscar is going to do the same. Manza Bob is going to jump into the pit lane.
Yep, they are going into the pit lane. And
Nice Jobs! Nice Jobs has got a position into the pit lane.
Well, that was a very nice move indeed.
What is he driving on today? Nice job.
Becoming a bit of a Sebastian Vettel, but he's been
not driving. What's happened? Oh,
that's held up quite badly, but he's ahead of the Ferrari still.
He got a free position there.
Yeah, that was a very nice, wise move that was into the pit lane. You know, a bit of a Sebastian Vettel moment that was caught on camera. Brings back memories from China 2016, that does. But no, interesting that we've got a safety car now, so that certainly shakes things up a little bit. Nice Job still in 7th, if I'm correct, so he's pretty much had a free pit stop by the looks of that. Same with Man's Not Bob, he's had a free pit stop as well. But the people in front, all on 10 laps, old hards, which probably can do 20 laps around Zandvoort. maybe 24, 25 if you know how to stretch them out overall. But yeah, no one's gone for the softs in this race as of yet. Imagine won't see them until later. I probably would have gone softs at this point, personally.
Well, we're on lap 12. We are a third of the way to the end of F1 22. It is currently JT Galato leading the way and leading the Drivers' Championship. And also his team to Constructors' glory. Could be triple for JT Galato, the win, the Drivers and the Constructors. And at this rate, maybe even a Grand Slam.
Yep, currently would be the Grand Slam or Grand Chelm. So far led every lap. And also got pole, of course, but he does have competition, so quite close behind him. The only good thing is, for Oscar, actually it's very wise he's not gone on a different strategy here, and he's following you know, JT pretty much in what he does for the championship wise, because ultimately if he went on to a different strategy, I think yes he could gain, but also probably better to keep an eye on what his rival's doing, if you know what I mean.
No, absolutely. I'm hoping it would just be maybe one more lap of a safety car. I'm hoping.
Yeah, probably should be one more lap looking at the gaps on the mini map.
God, there is so much orange in the grandstands. That just, I don't know if it's a nice thing or a bad thing.
Too much orange.
Thank you. I have to agree.
Pretty much every grandstand is orange.
Despite half of ERL being Dutch, I don't like all the orange.
You might as well paint the entire track orange, blend it in. Job done.
It was like an orange spray painted racing line.
Yeah.
Then you have
Just
the Max
stop
line,
oil.
which is just faster than everyone.
It's literally Just Stop Oil protesting at a Formula One race.
I think Zonderberg is now up to the back of the pack, which is a great sight to see.
So, safety car in this lap then. So, interesting to see when JT goes. Obviously, there's a bit of a run down to the line here, but it's a relatively short, what you call it? It's a relatively short, after you cross the line, relatively short run to that, you know, first corner. So, will he go early? Will he go late? That'll be the interesting key question, but yeah, I think he's going to go late here by the looks of it.
Yeah, and the safety car is now in the pit lane, so JT Galato is free to go whenever he pleases. It'll be awkward to get traction on the hill. I assume he's going to wait all the way to the end of the bend.
And he's gone.
And there we go, he is gone. I don't think... Oh, Wicked Vicky has got a position for Mansell Bob. Mansell Bob could lose 2 positions here. Nice job is right on the back of him. Into turn 1, he's going to have the Aston Martin blocking. Nice job though, which could bring in... Oh, he's got Mansell Bob very lucky there. The Aston was just blocking Nice Job's racing lines, so he's going to hold on to that P6. Not a great start from the Red Bull. Oscar and all the top 3 all holding their positions comfortably. 5/10 gap all round.
Yep, not really anyone making up major positions from what I see on the race restart, but we've got another yellow flag.
And that is the
out
Aston.
in sector 1. Yep, the Aston Piano once again in the wars already. Then on this restart, obviously one of the first people also, and the Haas as well. Again, I think it's the same Haas, if I'm correct, that caused the initial safety car.
Possibly, and
And
there's another yellow
Charlie
flag.
is out by the looks of it. He's well, not out of the race,
Yeah.
but out as well. So those two Hasses aren't having a good day. Haas never do have a good day, to be fair.
Just once in Brazil. Just once.
You know what I mean? Well, yeah. Can't remember any good Haas drive, unfortunately. But leaders pretty much all staying within about a 2 second of each other.
Yeah, Mantelboy is getting very close up to Wicked Vicky here, but just does not have the opportunity to make the move.
Nope.
I mean, without a safety car right now, Nice Job is going to win this Grand Prix. Those hard tyres will go to the end.
Yes, he will win a Grand Prix in this phase, but then don't forget they'll have fresher tyres, fresher
But it's
mediums.
a hell of a pit stop. It's like, what? It's such a long pit. It would be difficult to make that gap back. And there's only Nice Job is a slow driver. He's so fast.
No. I think it'd be very close, what I'm saying, between JT, like, looking at the gap to the leader, 4 seconds, so lose about 20 seconds in pit lane, so be about a 16-second gap at this moment, from my calculations.
Well, the new fastest lap of the day goes through JT Galato. I didn't see the exact time, but it was bloody damn good.
Yep, a 1:14.0 on 15 lap holds, so that's pretty impressive. Nice Job isn't
right with him.
progressing. I say Nice Job isn't progressing as fast as what maybe he would like on these hard tyres, if you know what I mean, on the guys in front.
And Oscar has actually fallen out of the DRS range.
Yep, he has indeed. Not quite got the pace of the top two, but certainly got decent pace.
Yep, something could go his way, you never know.
Indeed.
Let's see, is there going to be an attack for Takak down into turn one? It does not seem like it. Manzel Bob has got the position on the Aston Martin. That's a move he probably wanted to get done sooner rather than later. That means that Nice Job is going to close up to the back of the Aston. Not showing some great pace. RLR Perez does lose a position onto Robbo, but gets a huge amount of traction into turn one, but Robbo breaks latest.
Yep. Not really much otherwise going beyond that. Like, it's really close though between the top seven. Still only 3.8 seconds separating themselves than the leader practically here. So still very, very close between the top three. And Nice Job has spun and he's off. Yep. He's lost it.
Unbelievable pace for Nice Job. And he's letting him get away from him.
That certainly is going to hurt his race, but still should be in a healthy position once everyone stops. So long you don't make another mistake. Can't see any damage, if I'm correct in saying.
No, you don't believe there is.
So yeah, he can recover this, which is good.
Well, I think there could be a position change here between Perez and Robbo. Nothing into turn one. The McLaren not showing a lot of pace down that pit straight. Nice Job does get the first position onto Mufasa, who's not really going to give this up. Mufasa's going to hold the inside, but nowhere near enough traction as Nice Job. 4.5 tenths is the gap at the top. Oscar is just in DRS range, but with VDV Alfie right behind him. One mistake will cost him a lot, and Alfie, Alfie is gone.
Yep, that's the second AlphaTauri in the walls. The AlphaTauris.
And he's retired.
And he's
that
retired.
Could be a safety car.
I think it will be, and it is. So that kind of works for the people who stayed out on the hards originally, obviously, here. Question is, could they, the people who did stay out on the hards, can they, you know, hit and come out ahead of Nice Job, who I think is the top hard runner from the previous safety car, or is that Robbo? Oh no, it's Robbo.
Seems like all these cars are going to go into the pit lane. Manza Bob also opting to go into the pits. Robbo is going to be leading this Grand Prix. And JT Galato's just lost a position. Okay, I guess it's just because of the pit stops. It's fine. Okay, what is going on? So many penalties are being awarded. Does Nice Job get ahead of this pack? Yes, he does. Oh, Standing Cart is going to be separating Oscar and Takax here as well. There's going to be a big order reshuffle. Now, Manza Bob on the soft tyre. What?
Well, obviously, that's a bit ambitious, but I guess maybe he wants to make up a few places on this safety car restart, maybe, to try and... Maybe he's banking on another safety car here, late on into the race. But yeah, Robbo leading now. And it's kind of swung the other way now in terms of the pendulum. Because obviously before, the top 5 or top 7, whatever it was, all were on 15 lap hold hards, and now, well, 10 lap hold hards, I should say, and now the top 3 are all on 8 lap hold hards, so kind of swung the other way now in terms of who's got the tyre advantage. I imagine JT will be very quick coming through the pack potentially here on this safety car restart.
Well, let's just go off the drive for a minute. We'll just have a quick look at penalties. Just the 5 seconds for Dirk and Mufasa. Then we have a look at the biggest winners and the losers. The biggest win so far is Nice Job, up 16 places. Also, he will be a bit slower on the used hard tyre. However, there will not be that much of a pace difference. I think the real gainer here is, I mean, it's all changed because of pit stops, so it's a bit awkward to give this award at the minute.
Well, the real probably gainer, I would say, is probably JP Morgan, I would say, out of this so far. When you look at the pace they've shown, and then also look at, you know, where they started, pretty much. They've been one of the biggest improvers, up 11 places so far. So I think they're the biggest winners in my opinion so far. In terms of strategy point of view, well, biggest loser I'd say is Oscar so far. No offence to Oscar, but
hasn't really had much going for him.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Not much going for him. Down in 7th. Championship wise, not been helped out, and losing laps as well.
Well, Standing Cart's just been given a 5-second penalty for contact.
Yeah, a lot of them have penalties actually so far in this race. Got 5 seconds for standing, 5 seconds for Dirk, 5 seconds for AFK, and a drive-through for Phantom. Did someone spin? Pretty sure I've just seen a spinner somewhere. Might not be.
I'm not really sure what Standing Cart was doing there, to be honest. Just rear-ended Takax.
And Standing's now got 10 seconds.
Yeah, he's just rear-ended the Williams of Takax.
That is going to put him right to the back of the field then.
And they didn't even repair his wing.
And Ferrari have typical Ferrari stuff. Trouble is, I feel so sorry for him actually now, because he's still got 5 seconds, a broken wing, and if he catches the pack, the safety car's likely to come in this lap. So his race is effectively over without, like, unless there's a third safety car here. But then Bob is relying on a third safety car as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, a few of them relying on a third safety car and safety car in this lap.
But it is going to be Robbo leading us away. He is the front runner of these old hard tyre runs. JT, Takacs, Oscar all behind him. The original top three all on the new medium. And they are going to be mighty quick. We'll have to keep the way out of accidents.
Yep. So again, it'll be when does he go? Got a bit of a gap. JP Morgan's leaving to the Ferrari driver of Robbo. And I think Robbo's gone now, in fact. So
yeah, he has gone,
really,
and
really
JR
early.
Morgan's not gone. JR Morgan's under real pressure here from Nice Job.
Yep,
He's back. He's going to go down the inside into turn one. JT Gelato also under pressure now from Takacs. Nice Job is going to get the position ahead, but does JT Gelato lose a position here? Yes, he does.
Wow, that's quite big for the race, because
Oscar's going to go around. Oh, Oscar going to look for it then.
Yeah, Takas has gained that position, and is he going to gain another one here on Morgan? He's really pressurising the back of Morgan's car, but he doesn't go for it in this section of track pre-wise, probably not to. But then JT's going to gain, but down the inside goes Takas, and here he goes then around the outside, pretty nice, and JT follows him through. And will Oscar do the same, following through as well on Morgan then here? Down the inside, Oscar goes around the outside now.
Oh, Oscar's been hit! Oh my!
That is a bit of contact, but keeps the position, so it might not be too bad. But then Bob comes through. This is crazy race restart. Bob's into the pit lane.
Yeah, but he's just seen that his teammates just crashed out, so he was maybe hoping for a safety car, but it hasn't come his way. Oscar's going to lose the position onto Wicked Vicky, possibly. No, he's not. He's just going to hold it, and there is going to be a safety car. Manzop Bob Gamble has benefited then.
Yeah, a little bit indeed. Probably would have liked it a bit sooner than what it was called, but that was a crazy race restart. So much going on, especially from, well, pretty much from every position downwards.
Could we see a soft tyre run from Robbo and Nice Job now?
No. Well, no.
It's doable.
It is doable if you put them on a lap later or 2 laps later. 10 laps, I'd say, is the maximum for softs. 10 to 12.
Well,
I mean,
let's have a quick look.
Reason why I say 10 to 12 is because, right, how many laps are remaining? There's 13 or 14.
Robbo is going to skate out. Neuscher is going to take the gamble into the pit lane. Takacs and JT all skate out, same as Oscar. Vicky is also going to skate out. Don't think any other car's going to come to the pit lane. Dirk O'Meara is going to jump into the pit lane. Is there anyone else who's going to jump in? I don't think so.
Nice job's going for medium tyres though, interestingly.
They have very good pace on the medium. Why does... Nice Job is very slow on his little getaways. Oh, it's going to be close. Manzop, Bob and Nice Job are going to be seriously close out the pit exit here. I think Nice Job's just going to get it. Oh, yes, he did. That's going to be a bit annoying for Manzop Bob.
Yep, but then everyone is back onto the mediums practically. Only JP Morgan has stayed out on the hards, and he's practically going to be a sitting duck here once again on the race restart.
As well as Robbo.
Personally, yeah, Robbo as well could be a bit of a sitting duck as well. So 2 sitting ducks in the pack then on this race restart. But last time Robbo did obviously have a good race restart. Obviously now would be the time probably to come in and fit the softs on if you wanted to go softs to the end, I would say. It might be only a lap later, but you'd still gain. And Charlie's off. Then, yep, Charlie's practically gone all the way off the track. He's lost a handful of positions. So Robbo leads the way then on 13 lap old hards. Takas is P2, JT P3, Oscar P4, Wiki P5, JR Morgan P6, Bree P7, Piano Jam P8, Phantom P9, RLR P10, Nice Job 11th, Man's Not Bob 12th, Dirk in 13th, the Alfa Romeo driver 14th, Charlie 15th, and standing still without a wing, and it has got a wing, P16.
I think Standing is just trying to prevent this safety car restart not going perilously quick around the circuit.
Nope, safety car, you know, probably come in this lap though. I must admit, the Ferrari when it coming down straight sometimes looks a bit disorientating with its black front wing, I find.
Yeah, I can understand that.
I suspect safety car probably come in this lap.
I don't think it is. I think it's still there. Oh, never mind. I guess you were right. Yeah, Standing car is essentially now at the back of the field. It's a very late call though, later than usual.
Yeah, it is, but you know, usually 3 to 4 laps they come in, safety cars on this game.
Well, there is 11 laps to go. When is Robbo going to make his jump? The safety car is not in the pit lane yet. He's going to have to back this back up like mad.
Well, safety cars now reach pit entry,
yeah, there
so
we go.
When is
Robbo's going to go now in first gear as well. That is immense bravery.
Importantly, the Williams driver has gone with him, so can he go for a move? He's going to probably have to go the long way around if he wants.
Very well blocked.
And Phantom's been disqualified.
Unlucky, he didn't serve his drive-through. A pretty boring race start. Takik is always going right around the inside of Robbo. He is now into the lead of the Dutch Grand Prix. Robbo cannot fight it anymore.
No, has to give that up, otherwise you're going to be basically putting your rival into the barriers out there on the exit. JT now is going to be the next one in line to have an attack at him, pretty much, with Oscar practically right on the tail of JT and the pair of them. This still could go Oscar's way if JT gets a bit unlucky in terms of championship-wise. 10 laps to go. So JT practically gonna probably have to go for it down this straight.
But he's also got Oscar right behind him. This could be 3 wide into turn 1 if they're not careful here. Oscar is just going to back out a little bit, but he has not got the time to be backing out.
And practically they were playing a bit of bumper cars there a little bit.
Oh, JT's gone! And he's just hit, oh my word!
JD's lost a front wing. This could be championship changing, but then there's a virtual safety car as well.
That is a virtual safety car. JT Gelato touches the grass. All that Oscar has to do now is get into first place.
Wow, that could be truly championship changing for Oscar here.
I'm not sure if what if JT doesn't finish in the points? Mufasa, if you're watching, can you do some maths for us? If JT doesn't finish in the points, what happens? What does Oscar have to do? I'm hoping he's watching. Or does Oscar have to win the Grand Prix to have any chance?
I think Oscar would have to win the Grand Prix from my maths, but I could be wrong on that. 23 points. According to Dave, he needs to win.
Yes,
so
he needs to win.
Yeah, I agree with that assumption or that conclusion. Obviously, JT, well, put it this way, he's been given a lifeline, Oscar has. Obviously, it's now down to Oscar to take it, and we go racing once again. DRS automatically enabled. The only thing, there will be a bit of a gap though, so here's Oscar's moment then. On the Ferrari, practically.
He's going to have to get this move done real quick.
Indeed.
He does not have time.
Immediately. And there's another yellow flag in the middle sector.
Robbo goes really wide. Oscar's going to go round the outside of the hairpin. He has to stick it all the way around though. The fresher tyres. Here we go up into P2. One more position for Oscar. 3.8 seconds behind. It's not likeable. It's not likely, but he has to pray for something to happen ahead of him. Takacs 3.6 seconds ahead. I think it's going to be too little too late for Oscar.
Well, given him an opportunity, that's all he can do now is try to unleash whatever pace he's got and give it his all. However, Takacs very quick in qualifying, been quick in this race. Could we see a situation where maybe Takacs does a bit of a, what you call it, back in the day, like where drivers would give a driver a championship, if you know what I mean?
No, never.
But I doubt
Surely
it.
not.
You know, that would be pretty wild stuff if they did that. 'Cause they used to do that back in the day. They used to give each other their cars to win the championship. That was a true time when it was gentleman sort of sport, gentleman agreement. But yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah.
However, Oscar has done a fastest middle sector, so he is flying, but using a lot of his ERS right now.
Yeah, there are just 7 laps to go. 3.3 is the gap. Oscar's just gonna have to pray for something ahead of him to go his way. 12.968 for the Alfa Romeo. JT Gelato down in 14th place. That mistake has cost him his opportunity to control his destiny, can control his fate. He is now in the hands of Oscar. He's going to have to pull out something spectacular to win this race. JT Gelato into 13th place. Wicked Vicky has spun. I mean, the one thing that could go Oscar's way is a safety car right now. That's probably the one thing he's praying for.
Well, yeah, or for Takacs to spin or make a mistake, you know, that would certainly help him. But obviously, right now he looks in control.
No way! It's a safety car! Oh my word!
Wow, this has really changed the outcome.
This is very interesting.
I don't want to add any fuel to any fires or spice things up, but that was JT's teammate who crashed out there. So,
Takacs is not going to go into the pit lane. Oscar is not going to pit. Robbo, I'm assuming he's going to go into the pit lane. No, he's not.
No.
Man's up Bob is.
Well, that makes sense. I think, will we see anyone else head into the pit lane?
Maybe JT Gelato. He has got absolutely nothing to lose.
Probably Morgan. Yep, Morgan's in. So, standing car, and probably JT, yep, probably will be the last one into the pit lane. And I imagine they'll all go for the softs. Unless one of them fancies a run on the hards in the dying laps. But yeah, no, all probably in for the softs here.
Well, welcome to ERL, the race leader and championship leader with a 23-point gap into 10th place, with Oscar just one car length behind the position he needs to win his first, or the first ever championship in ERL. Luckily, there's been a lot of retirements, so I think JT Gelato could just win this by getting one position.
Well, let's have a look. JT's currently got the fastest lap, so currently he would currently he would win, obviously, due to the fact Oscar isn't in the position to take the championship. But if Oscar gets into the lead on the restart, let's just assume he does, JT then would obviously, Oscar picks up 25 for that, but then Oscar would have 24. So right now it'd be dead even, pretty much, in the championship. So yeah, if JT picks up to 9th, then he wins the championship by just, I think, 1 point.
Yeah, I think it would be 1 point.
So that's what it could come down to. But interestingly, JT has decided to stay out and stick with those 4-lap hold mediums. So 2 cars behind him on the softs, you know, that could be a bit of interesting. Basically, Oscar's got to go for it on this race restart, I think. Basically all or nothing.
Well, there is no hiding for Oscar now. He has simply got to get one more position, and then it is all up to JT Gelato to try and get one himself. He's got 2 soft runners behind him. JR Morgan is very fast. However, the likes of Few Skings and Dirk, who obviously aren't as fast as JT Gelato, are also on the older tyres. But it's going to be 4 laps of racing to decide this championship.
Well, 4 laps to decide their destiny. Let's see what happens here. And this is the 3rd different driver as well to lead the race restart. Then we've had Robbo, we've had JT, and now it's Takas' turn to, you know, do it himself. What can he do on this race restart? Oscar's really trying to keep close, but not too close.
And he has gone, and Oscar has, he's not really following him the best there. Still 3 gap is okay. JT Gelato has gone forward with him. He's going to gain massively on Manzor Bob here. Just going to break nice and early and avoid the chaos. And there's a McLaren who's spun ahead of him. Few Skings, and JT Gelato is into 9th place. And he's about to go into 8th place as well over Manzor Bob. JT Gelato is taking this championship by the hands. He's not letting Oscar try and win this himself. He's going to take everything, and JT Gelato is going to go for another position here. On the McLaren, he's got a huge slipstream. But it's not going to be enough. JT Gelato in 8th place. In control of his future.
Yeah, once again in control of it by 2 positions, so
let's
he'll
make
be
that
happy.
3. Oh no, is it 2 or 3? Yeah. 3, well, he almost made the move. Almost. Ooh, little touch on the rear from Manzor Bob there. Little touch.
Yeah, a little bit of a touch. Loses a bit of time and loses a bit of time to the McLaren driver, who's on 14 lap hold mediums. So, you know, but currently still in control of his own destiny now. And with Oscar down in 2nd, definitely in control at the moment, because 2nd wouldn't be enough for Oscar anyways.
Well, Manzor Bob is going to try and fight back a bit here. I think he will get the position onto JT Gelato. Yep, into 9th place goes JT.
Does indeed.
Well, if he skates like this, Oscar has to get that 1st place. And that'll win him the championship. I think if JT gets this and fastest lap, does Oscar win it?
No, JT does by 1 point, literally, at the moment. So still in JT's hands if it remains like this until the end of the race with 2 laps to go.
And then we've got Oscar 1 second behind us, not making any sort of inroads on the leader. He's used 20% more battery, and he is down by 9/10. JT Gelato is clear behind. He's got no pressure. He can just be nice and patient, not spin, no mistakes. This is all in his hands.
Pretty much. So long you don't make a mistake from here till the end, practically JT's won the championship, I think, by a nice margin in the end. But Oscar's fallen back now quite heavily from the Williams.
Yeah, he must have had a huge mistake through turn one, I think, with a little wobble.
But at least it was an exciting end to the championship. It gave Oscar a chance that he needed in the end. I think that was quite a nice way to spice things up.
God, JT Gelato is so quick through that little sector. Followed man's up all the way. Just 1.5 laps to go, and I think this is going to go the Mercedes way.
Yeah, gets moved on Red Bull. No, not quite.
However, I think Ferrari are going to win the championship.
Will they?
Mercedes needs 3 points.
Pretty sure constructors-wise didn't really look much of a, what you call it, Ferrari.
It's a huge three-way battle there, sorry, but JT Gelato is going to pick off 2 cars in 1. That is the drive of a champion. Man's up Bob. Is he going to hold out this position? Yes, he is. He's going to have the inside line. Man, JT Gelato making a settle for 8th place. Alright, sorry, carry on.
Yeah, Ferrari shouldn't win the championship, I don't think. 15 points plus 16 wouldn't be... Yeah, plus 1 wouldn't be enough. 16 points wouldn't need. They need about, what, a 40-point overhaul?
I can actually look at the constructor standings, to be fair.
Yeah, they need 40 points. So Mercedes have easily won the championship. Anyway, coming into the final lap then, final few corners. And Takas then entering the final few corners then on his tour as Oscar, running out of corners, running out of opportunities, and it's Takas who will take the Dutch Grand Prix win from Oscar, who then has to consolidate for 2nd place in the race and 2nd place in the championship. Robbo P3 and Charlie P4, Piers P5. JT comes home to take the championship then in the end from his rival Oscar then, and Dirk P8 and standing P9 with Piano Jam taking the final point in P11, and Morgan then coming home then in P12, round in the final corner. But JT Gelato, champion of ERL.
Well, there was a big scare. Oscar thought he had the opportunity. JT Gelato spinning out of the race, losing his front wing. But the safety car, which Oscar wanted so badly, actually hurt him the most, with JT Gelato managing to pull up to the back of the pack and gain a few positions. Meant that JT Gelato is your first championship winner in ERL, and what a race to win it in. That was hectic.
Indeed it was. Who's your driver of the day?
For me, I'm going to give it to Takas. He drove flawlessly.
Yep. For me, I'll probably give it to Takas as well. You know, or Gelato. One of them two, I think. Even though Gelato had a bit of a troublesome, you know, race in the end, but to come back and to put in that display in those final few laps, very impressive and a worthy champion.
And there we go, we're just going to go through the race classification for the final time in Season 1. Takas picks up the victory in Zandvoort. No Dutch drivers on the podium. Oscar in 2nd place, Robbo in third, rounding off the Ferrari in P3, Charlie Harris in P4 for the Haas. Pretty good result for him. Perez in 5th, Manzop Bob in 6th place, JT Galato, world champion, in 7th place, Dirk O'Meara in 8th place, 9th is Standing Cart, 10th is Piano Jam. Outside the points is Fuse Things and JR Morgan. This has been an incredible title fight, gone down to the wire between JT Galato, but it is going to be the Jamaican man who is victorious. Season 2 will return for ERL, but for now, it is good night.